Howdy, partners. Looks like we already got a room full of people. So we've kind of been going back and forth on the chat group. We have a bunch of people in there. We have 4 people. Looks like 4 people online, according to that little number up there. And yeah, we're happening now. So no, I am not robbing a bank. That's just, I was out a little bit earlier and I had my mask on and I just left it on. So and then I'm going out afterwards because one of my favorite restaurants here in the LA area, which is Upper West, they're doing a Memorial Day thing where they have this box that has 2, I think they're double Wagyu cheeseburgers and house-made chips and elote corn. And so I'm going to go get that, and then we'll actually do an episode of that. So I should have that up. I'll try to edit it tonight and have it up tonight. So if anybody in the LA area is interested, you'll be able to see what it is and you can go and get it. So they're another one of the restaurants that obviously is hurting. I mean, yeah, it does sound like an amazing burger. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, bacon, 420. I was a little bit, trying to go answer text as opposed to talking, but you guys can hear me okay, right? Because the thing is, I can't tell. I'm talking into the thing, but I don't hear anything in the headphones. It's just I'm using the headset. So I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Oh, hey, Terry, how you doing? Good. Welcome back. Good to see you. I was thinking for some reason. No, it was Eric Jones said he had to work this week and we weren't going to see him. So, okay, great, Janice. Thank you. So welcome, Terry. Welcome back. Everybody say hi to Terry, TH out there. So the whole thing about the mask is I think in some areas, I don't know, I don't think LA County has yet, but I know the Orange County as of today has opened up a bunch of like in-house dining places. They have to adhere by a bunch of rules. I think the servers might have to wear masks. I think you have to wear masks inside unless until you're eating. Yeah, don't think you have to wear the mask while you're eating. I don't see how you can. I think they have to do half capacity. I don't know what the other rules are. I don't think they can seat people at a bar. So I don't know the full rules, but they're opening back up. So yes, Stoner Kitchen, I have been to Alaska. So I actually took a cruise up there and it stopped in a bunch of different cities. So it stopped in, where did it stop? It stopped in Ketchikan. It stopped in Juneau. It stopped in Segway and Tracy Arm. So yeah, a bunch of different places, and it's the way to go. I don't know if you guys had ever been on a cruise, but cruises are kind of fun because you don't have to worry about a hotel. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get from one point to another, and then you get to see a bunch of different cities. It depends on, on how long a cruise you're taking. The drawback is you're only there for a certain amount of time. And you can go and do your own thing, but if you don't get back to the ship on time, they don't wait for you. So if you take their excursions, the excursions will take you to different places, and then if the excursion is late coming back, like in other words, they get a bus full of people, they take them off to a certain place, and if that busload of people is late coming back, they'll wait for you. But if you go on your own, you'll have to fly to the next location. So. Where haven't you been? Where haven't I? Well, in the United States, nowhere. I've been all 50 states. I have been to Europe. I've been to France, Spain, and England. Spent a lot of time in England. I've been to some of the northern cities in Mexico. I've been to Matamoros. I've been to Nuevo Laredo. I have not yet been to TJ, but I plan on going. And I've been to Colombia. In the Bogota area, the Bogota and Medellin. I've been to both of those places. You've been to Nuevo Laredo. Yeah, it's not like, hey, I'm going to take a vacation and spend a week in Nuevo Laredo. It's one of those things like, you live in Texas, you just kind of drive down there, go in for the day, and come back out. So, yeah, it can get a little dicey down there. As a matter of fact, hey, Ducks Rule. Good to see you. Good to see you again. Everybody say hi to Ducks Rule. One of the most amazing things I ever saw was in one of the border cities, and I can't remember if it was Matamoros or Nuevo Laredo, but there was a woman selling avocados. And the thing about avocados is when you come back, like if you walk over and you're going to walk back into the United States to coming through customs, you can't bring anything with seeds in it. So she has to take the big seed out of the avocado before you can go back in with it. And the amazing thing was, this woman was amazing. She had this huge knife. And what she would do is she would take the avocado in her hand and she'd turn it, like she hit it with a knife. She'd turn it. She'd flip the top open. She'd hit it again, like to embed the knife into the pit, into the seed. Take it out, discard it, pick up a jalapeno, stick the jalapeno in the middle because the jalapeno prevents it from turning brown. Puts the two halves together, puts it in a plastic bag, and hands it to you. And all of this was like in under a minute. It maybe 20, maybe 30 seconds to do this whole thing. And I was just totally amazed because people would say, well, give me a dozen of these. And she'd just be like, I was totally amazed. And those people, the ones that are selling things on the border before you go back in, they're making no money. I feel bad for those people. They're extremely poor. But they rely on the tourists or the people who come over, who walk over and are walking back for their income. So, but I was truly amazed by them. We had been geocaching on the border. Geocaching. I'm not sure what geocaching is. I like to imagine what it is, but I'm sure I'm wrong. We had a trunk full of ammo boxes and stuffed animals. Yeah, that's gonna look like we were smuggling drugs. It was awful funny. Yeah, it was funny until you get pulled over by the federales. So I am a chef and have seen that go wrong so many times. Oh yeah. What do they call that? They actually have a name for that wound, and they call it like avocado hand or something like that. I mean, there's all kinds of people try to do the thing with a knife that way. And yeah, I hear a lot about that, about people who get hurt, trying to open an avocado or take the pit out with a knife and everything. So yeah, I do hear about that a lot. This woman, obviously she had it down to a science, and I didn't even see where there was any way she was going to hurt herself. But I have heard stories about people. My mom had to go to the hospital one time because she had this big, huge, like a butcher knife, and she was trying to open up a coconut with it. So she kind of cracked the coconut and she was sticking the knife in, and then the knife slipped and it went into the webbing between her thumb and her fingers, and she had to get stitches and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not anything worth messing around with. But I mean, Ryan, being that you're a chef, I'm sure you've seen this too, is people who cut the wrong way. Like if they're, they're dicing onions or something the wrong way, right? And they have their fingers up to the onion and they're doing like this, and you're thinking to yourself, they're going to lose the end of their fingers. And I guess the thing is, you hold it down and you kind of put your knuckles against it, and then you put your knuckles against the side of the knife. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the correct process. So I'm kind of like, I stay away from dangerous things, and so that's how I cut. And I think that's how you're supposed to always use the claw when chopping, the human claw. I imagine you're talking about, right? Yeah. Safest way to do it is with a serving spoon. Yeah. But I've been known when I eat it, it's sometimes like I'm just in the mood to eat an avocado, and I just take this. Obviously you have to cut it, right? But then I just take the spoon, take the pit out, and then I use the spoon and then scoop it out and eat it. So I don't necessarily put it on stuff. I did use some avocado the other day. I made something unusual. At least I think it's unusual. Maybe other people wouldn't. So I had some leftover broth from the Little Sheep hot pot broth, because I filmed an episode where I made a yellow eel in hot pot, and that's coming up. I'm not sure exactly when it's scheduled, but the thing about hot pot is, if you go to a hot pot place, always ask them if you can take the broth home, because you've cooked everything in it, right, which has flavored the broth, but that broth is just so good. So I made hot dogs in the extra Little Sheep hot pot broth. And then I put it on lavash, and I put avocado. I kind of smeared avocado on lavash, avocado, chopped up kimchi, and gochujang. And and I ate that. That was my dinner the other day. So a little unusual, but yeah, I think I have pictures. I'll put pictures up, or on the Instagram feed. I'll put pictures on the Instagram feed. What is your Saturday beer for today? Well, Stoner Kitchen, I am glad you asked, because today we are going north of the border to go south of the border. So I have this, and it's a cute little bottle I hope that means it's high in alcohol content. I cannot find an APV anywhere on this bottle. So if you guys know, let me know, or you can look it up for me while I'm busy yapping. So this is from North Coast Brewing Company, which is in Fort Bragg, California. And if for any of you who have not been to Fort Bragg, I urge you to go to Fort Bragg, if you're in the area, because Fort Bragg is home to Glass Beach. And we already posted an episode of Glass Beach. It's an amazing place where the tides kind of rolled over the glass that they've thrown in the ocean over the years. And the whole beach is covered with like little pieces of beach glass. Not as much anymore because so many people go there and take it that most of the big pieces are gone. But this is from North Coast Brewing Company, and it is Laguna Baja, and it's Mexican style dark lager beer. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it's like Modelo, probably. I hope it's not like Corona, because I hate Corona. Not just because of the name. Anything you have to put a lime or a lemon in to improve the taste isn't worth drinking. So yeah, Laguna Baja is what we're drinking today, and we're going to give that a try. Again, if any of you guys know what the APV is on this, please let me know, because I can't find it anywhere on the bottom. That is our Saturday beer for today. Avocado oil is amazing to work with too. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with avocado oil. Do you use it to fry with, or you use it to, like, as an additive or something? How would you use that? North Coast makes some good beer. I got to admit, this is the first time I've had any of North Coast beer, so I'm looking forward to this. Hey, dude, how did you come up with the name Trippy Food? I'm glad you asked. Big Zima. I don't know that I've seen you on here before, Big Zima. Are you new? Are you new to the stream? Because I'm not seen you before. But welcome. Hey, everybody, say hi to Big Zima. So the name Trippy Food. So back around, I would say like 2007, 2008, I was working for a place where I was a manager, and the group that I managed, every Friday, we would do this thing where people would bring in unusual things and eat them. And then we would just take some time out, and everybody would just sit together and we just eat some unusual thing. We actually, one time we invested in a pound of kopi luwak beans. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's the Indonesian coffee beans that have gone through a civet cat. But anyways, one of the people was Joshua Joseph, and I think I mentioned him on a previous episode, but I don't believe you were on this. And one of the people that I worked with was Joshua Joseph, and Josh said to me, "Hey, you have so many stories and so many experiences with food and travel, especially unusual food and travel. You should do something with it, like a blog." And I said, "Yeah, okay, I could do that." And so I actually started a blog. And then I had a hard time trying to figure out what I was going to name it. And so I was working with Josh on trying to come up with a name. And he was the one that actually came up with the name Trippy Food. And I said, "Well, why Trippy Food?" And he says, "Well, the trippy because you do road trips, and then the food because you do food. So it kind of combines travel and food together, Trippy Food." Unfortunately, what most people think when they see the name Trippy Food is like, "Dude, do you drop acid and then eat stuff? Is that what Trippy Food means?" So anyways, that's how we got the name Trippy Food. And you'd be surprised, like even that far back, when you come up with a bunch of ideas for names and you do a lookup and you go like, "Oh, somebody's already got that. Oh, somebody's already got that. Somebody's already got that." Nobody had Trippy Food, so now it's mine. Fry or dressings? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I would imagine that would be nice, because it would give that avocado flavor. I don't think you'd want to use it with avocado, because then it's kind of like overkill. But something where you want that hint of avocado in the flavoring and everything, that would probably be good. 5% alcohol in Laguna Baja. Okay, that's a small bottle, and 5% is not bad. So I will be able to drive to Upper West after this. Because we're gonna be doing about 2 hours, and we usually do about 2 hours. So yeah, I'll crack that open. I dub us fellow trippies. Oh, sure. We can all be trippy peeps. So I did actually bring some snacks as well. So I'll have some snacks. So I have, the first one we'll do is this guy. And again, I can't really tell. It looks like there's a lot of glare on it. And this is from SK Fortune, and what this is, prepared prepared. I don't know what prepared means. Prepared broad bean wasabi flavored. I get wasabi flavored broad bean, and I don't know what prepared means. I mean, if it's boiled, baked, stewed, roasted. I have no idea what prepared means. But anyways, we're going to try this. That'll be the first one we try, and then we have this from Trader Joe's, and this is ketchup flavored Spud Crunchies. So I think that they're potato snacks. I think they're like deep fried French fries. I mean, French fries are already deep fried, but somehow crispy deep fried, and they're ketchup flavored. And for anyone who doesn't know this, my own standard philosophy is that ketchup is the condiment of the devil. That I'm not a big ketchup fan. When I do use ketchup on my fries, typically what I'll do is I'll mix it with other things. Like I'll mix it with A1 sauce and Tabasco and black pepper, and I'll just kind of mix that up, and then I'll dip my fries. But I'm not a big fan of ketchup all by itself. The exception is up in the Portland area. There's a brand of ketchup called Portland ketchup, and that's Portland, Oregon, not Portland, Maine. They have a brand of ketchup called Portland ketchup, and it's actually really good. It's a little bit spicy, and it's actually pretty good. But ketchup, I'm not a big fan of ketchup. I think it kills a lot of stuff that you put it on. Like if you put it on a hot dog, you've killed the hot dog. But anyways, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to try this ketchup flavored Spud Crunchies. I guess it's supposed to taste like French fries dipped in ketchup, which maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll try it. Spud Crunchies. Yeah, that is weird. It sounds like a minor player in a porn film or something. I don't know. Spud Crunchies or like the name of a captain in a 1960s B grade science fiction film. I don't know. Spud Crunchies. That'd be interesting. Let's come up with a fake Spud Crunchies name. Like, what is Spud Crunchies? Come up with something fake. I think it'd be more fun than this. I'm joining you with a BLT and an ice cold Pacifico. There you go. And Pacifico, I guess Pacifico is another one that is a like a Mexican style lager. Correct, Stoner Kitchen. Is that right? Yeah. BLT is nice, and I think Bacon 420 would be proud of you that you're incorporating bacon into your snack. Do I like a Jufran? I can't. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Jufran. What is that? And you guys do realize, of course, when you ask me a question like that. So if you say, "Do you like Jufran?" and I never had it before, you do realize that as soon as we're done, I got to look that up. I got to find out where to get it, and then I got to try it because I have this obsessive curiosity, and I'm not happy unless I find out what something is. So, but you can tell me what it is now, and then the next time we get together and you ask me if I like it, I'll be able to tell you yes or no. Who's my favorite band? Ooh, that's a tough call. My favorite band. I don't know if I have a favorite band. There's a few bands that like I've seen multiple times and have bought most of their recordings because some of them their later year recordings aren't that great. But I would say like if you're familiar with UK. UK was kind of this progressive rock supergroup. So they had Bill Bruford from Yes. They had Alan Holdsworth from Soft Machine. They had who's the bass player and singer was John Wetton from King Crimson. And the drummer, it's like a drummer, guitarist. Oh, and the keyboard player was Eddie Jobson from Curved Air. So it was kind of this progressive super group, and it was very progressive. They only came out with 2 studio albums and 1 live album. And that was it. But I loved that band. Loved Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I always loved Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Up until they came out with Love Beach, and then everything after that was kind of not good. But I liked everything up to Love Beach. I have no complaints about the Beatles. I always enjoy listening to the Beatles. As far as new stuff, like newer bands, I don't know. Like there's no. I like Bruno Mars. I really do. Except that he cops his sound from too many other things. Like there's one song I can't remember the name of the song, but it sounds like The Police. I like it, but it sounds too derivative. I like Muse. I guess Muse is a new band. Considered a new band. I like Muse. Yeah. So you guys let me know what you guys like. Jufrun is an Asian banana ketchup. Oh, I've seen the banana ketchup, but I've never actually tried that. So I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to get some of that Asian banana ketchup, and we're gonna have to do that. I remember reading ketchup made from other veggies was popular 100 years or so ago, especially mushroom ketchup, which I think predates the use of tomato ketchup even. Mushroom ketchup. Sounds interesting. I bet it would be very earthy, very dark and very earthy. The thing is mushroom ketchup, I don't know how you would get that consistency of like a pourable consistency from mushrooms. You'd probably have to put it in a blender, I would think, because mushrooms have they don't really have the consistency that lends itself to being, pourable. So I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll have to make some mushroom ketchup. Why not? I'm going to say Jerfon banana ketchup is pretty decent too. Yeah. Hey, Steve Aside, welcome. Everybody say hi, Steve Aside. And Ari Friedman, welcome back. Greetings from Toronto. Have you ever had poutine? Oh my God, poutine. Oh, poutine. I love poutine. And the thing is, poutine is like one of my pet peeves, especially in the LA area, is all the people who serve something called poutine that is nothing like poutine. So for poutine, and you can back me up on this, for poutine, in order to really be poutine, you need three things. You need fries, and they have to be, but they're usually either double fried or flash fried and then fried again and everything. You don't want to just cut the potatoes and put them in the fryer. So you need that. You need the brown gravy, which is usually a chicken-based gravy. And to be perfectly honest with you, some of the best gravy for poutine is made from like a packet. It's from a mix, like Saint Hubert. I think Saint Hubert, theirs is from a mix. And do they have Saint Hubert in Toronto? I know that they're popular in Quebec, but I don't know if they have them in Toronto. And the cheese curds. And the cheese curds are the most important part. You can't just pour melt cheddar cheese on the top of it and call it poutine. It doesn't work that way. So a lot of places here, there's a place called Animal. I don't know if they're still open. There's a restaurant called Animal, really high-end place, and people go like, "Oh yeah, I love their oxtail poutine." And I'm like, they do fries with oxtail on them and some other sauce, but it's not poutine. So there used to be 3 authentic poutine places in LA. So there was Smokes, but they've closed. There was Petite. What is it? The place called Petite something, I can't remember. And it was a Quebecois that ran the place, and they did authentic. They used shoestring potatoes, which was kind of weird, but they were still authentic. And then the Redondo Beach Cafe. Redondo Beach Cafe was started by 2 Greek brothers from Montreal, and they imported smoked meat. They would do smoked meat sandwiches, and they did poutine, legit poutine. But I think they've changed hands, and I don't know if the place that bought them is still doing poutine or not. But poutine is kind of a rare thing. When I went to Montreal and Quebec, I was in heaven with poutine, because poutine is one of my favorite foods. Incidentally, in the Portland area, because of its proximity to Canada, you can get a lot of poutine in Portland, Oregon. But in Montreal, there's a place called La Banquise, and La Banquise is a 24-hour poutinerie. So you can get, and they have like 30 different kinds. And again, remember, poutine has to have those 3 things, and then you can put whatever else you want on top of it. Some of them, I can't remember. There's different names for some specific ones. Like some of them have turkey and peas on it. Some of them have smoked meat on it. But you can really, anything under the sun, you can put on top of that. But you have to have those 3 basic things. When I was in Quebec City, I asked somebody who has the best poutine, and they said Chez Ashton. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll find the Chez Ashton place." So I found this Chez Ashton. It was in not in the old city, but in the newer part of the city. And it was in this building with stone on it. I'm like, "Oh, fancy!" And I walk in there, and it's a fast food restaurant. So Chez Ashton is just a fast food. It's like there, but you can get poutine at McDonald's, at Burger King, in Quebec, everywhere. But yeah, poutine, one of my favorites. I saw hobo poutine. It was corn dogs and cheese gravy and fries. Yeah, doesn't you can't call that poutine. So you call it corn dogs and cheese gravy. Oh, here's the thing about if you're going to do something like you're going to have some sort of cheese and some sort of gravy on it, call it dirty fries or loaded fries or something like that. But you can't call it poutine. Has to have the cheese curds. Has to have the brown gravy. Watched a couple videos on it before, but pretty sure they blended it and it was a brownish color. I think they made me wish something. I've paid more for Weird Al music than any other band. Weird Al is great because he like I loved his version of Michael Jackson's Bad, which was Fat. That's probably like one of my favorite Weird Al videos. And also, if you're a Weird Al aficionado, check out we did the hot dog Twinkie that he did on the movie UHF. We did the hot dog Twinkie, so check that out. We do that there. Happy Saturday, Beyond Seattle Eats. I'm trying to remember. I don't know that I've seen you before, Beyond Seattle Eats. Have you been here before? If not, welcome. Everybody say hi to Beyond Seattle Eats. And when you say Beyond Seattle, does that mean you're based in Seattle, but you eat stuff that's like outside of Seattle, or you cover the Washington area, or everything but Seattle? So, let me know. I like bluegrass. I like bluegrass music too. I like bluegrass. I like hillbilly. I like old country, like, George Jones kind of stuff. I like the old country. I don't like new country because to me it's like Southern rock. It's pop. That's all it is. So I do like old country. I didn't always, but when I lived in Austin, Texas, I found a newfound love for country music. Old style country music. There is no poutine in LA. Yeah, Janice, I am inclined to agree with you, and there really never has been. There's just been very, very few places, and most of them have gone by the wayside. I like the squeaky curds. The squeaky curds. Yeah, you can't do a good poutine without the squeaky curds. Have you tried beaver tail dessert? I have not. I have had beaver tail before. So what you guys might not know is that prior to doing Trippy Food as a YouTube channel, I had a YouTube channel with my friend Eddie Lynn, and it was called Kamikaze Kitchen. And the premise of that was we would take ingredients, and we got most of our ingredients from Exotic Meat Market, from my friend Anshu at Exotic Meat Market. We would get most of the ingredients from there. And then what we would do is we would take a mystery ingredient in a bag with a question mark on it, and we would bring it to an LA chef, and they would have to make something with what they found in the bag. And the first episode we did was with Ben Ford, who is Harrison Ford's son, at Ford's filling station, and we brought him a beaver tail. And so what he did was he made he made two dishes. He made beaver tacos. Yeah, I know. Just the double entendre there is like, it's through the roof. He made beaver tacos and he made beaver tail flatbread, and both were really good. So I have had beaver tail. I've had beaver meat before, beaver stew meat before too, and it's one of my favorite meats. It's actually delicious, really good. Cheese curds are a must. The squeakier, the better. We don't have Saint Hubert, but they can get their products in groceries. Oh, they have the Saint Hubert mix in the grocery stores in Toronto. Ari, tell me, because on one of my trips to Toronto, I found this place that I liked. I don't know if most people think that maybe it's a touristy place, or maybe it's just kind of like not that great. But if it was called March. My French isn't very good. Marche. Marche. What was the name of the place? Basically, it's this place that you go indoors and it looks like outdoors. So they have like fake tree trunks in there, and they have different booths. And you get this card and you go to the different booths. So like, oh, I want some soup over here, but I want a sandwich over here, and I want this over here. And then they stamp your card, and then you just go back to a table, and you ring out at the cashier, and you go back to your table and you eat all your stuff. But it was this really, really cool restaurant. Like I said, they try to make it look like outdoors, indoors, and so if the name of that place, let me know. A lot of ex-Canadians in Orange County. Yeah, it seems like the closer you get to Orange County, the more poutine you're able to find. The only place I had poutine on a menu was Frank in Austin. Was Bacon, was that a legitimate poutine? in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, to me seems like the farthest place from anywhere where you'd be able to get legit poutine. That's called country poutine. Poutine with beef gravy. Yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of varieties of it, but typically it's that chicken-based brown gravy, and it's usually made from a packet. You know, it's peasant food. It's blue collar food, but it's also drunk food. So those, especially La Banquise, which is a 24-hour poutineery, they do most of their business around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the bars are emptying out. One of the last places I ate before all the shutdowns, I ordered poutine. It was kind of disappointing. Barely any gravy or cheese, just layers on top. The rest was dry. And where was that, Steve aside? Which restaurant was that you got that poutine at? Friend of Matt's and Nuff's. I'm just north of Seattle. Oh, okay. All right. I spent a lot when I was living up in Oregon, in the Portland area. I made a lot of trips to and through Seattle. So yeah. Never had beaver. How was it? Beaver, absolutely delicious. I haven't done it for the YouTube channel. I did a blog article on beaver meat, but I haven't done it for the YouTube channel, but I'm going to. So I'll have to get some from Exotic Meat Market. And if you guys, any of the really weird stuff, if you look at especially some of our older episodes, if you look at some of the weird stuff weird stuff that we've done, like camel American chop suey and everything, and you're like, where do you get the camel meat? Where do you get this and everything? Exotic Meat Market. So if you go to exoticmeatmarkets with an S.com or exoticmeatmarketsingle.net, he ships everywhere. He doesn't do anything illegal. So like if you're thinking I'm going to get some tiger meat or anything, no. He does sell lion, which is legal. It's very expensive, but he does sell it. But yeah, he ships everywhere. So I think he has a warehouse and a ranch in California, and then he has his base of operation is in the Las Vegas area. So yeah, definitely check that out. Go to his website and see exotic antelopes and all kinds of crazy things. Iguana, you can get them from him. Beaver tail dessert is a Canadian tradition. I'll have to check that out. So and I could probably get another beaver tail from Exotic Meat Market, and then I'll just have to find an online recipe and make it myself. So yeah, I'm gonna have to marche. Yeah, march. But there's another Ari. There's another word for it. March move and pick. That's what it was. March move and pick. So are they still around? Are they? Because this was back in the late '80s that I went there. I don't know if they're still around. If they've gone to something else, if it used to be good and now it's not good. But if you've heard about it, let me know. Could you repeat that link again? Yes. Robert, I'm going to mispronounce your name. I'm really sorry. I would say Gwilyn or a Gilan maybe. But I'll call you Robert. And then, somehow you can help me out with the pronunciation. But welcome, Robert. I don't recall seeing you in here before, but welcome. Everybody is always welcome. And I'm going to be honest with you all right now. Saturday night for me has always been my beer night. I'm not a heavy drinker. I'm really, really bad at any chugging contests and everything. I can't even do that because I'm a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, but I enjoy it. And so Saturday night has always been beer night for me. And the thing that I love about this is that I get to share that with you, because otherwise it was just me sitting there alone drinking my beer. But I get to share beer night with you guys, and to me that's really awesome. So I appreciate all you guys coming in and sharing that with me. And now my beer night is something special. So was a bar and grill I drove out to in Sanford, Florida. Yeah, I would not expect them to make good poutine in Sanford, Florida. Florida. What are my cuisine experience in Southern Florida? Well, Key West. There's a place that's right at the very, 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 very end of Key West, where the cruise ships come in, and they had a stand there that they used to make conch fritters and conch chowder and everything. That was pretty good. But yeah, Florida. They're I can't say that they're really known for anything really new. I drove on one trip I made from South Carolina to Florida. I was going from Charleston to Tampa. And I stopped at a roadside place to get some boiled peanuts. But, boiled peanuts is like all through the South. Anyways, it's not anything specific to Florida. I've never seen you live stream. Love your channel. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, this is our 4th live stream. So it's kind of like some people have been asking us, why don't you do a live stream and everything? And so we just decided, why not? We've been around for like, I don't know, 5 years. No, we've been around longer than maybe about 6 years. Been around for about 6 years and everything. And we never did a live stream. So I thought, why not? Let's meet these people who watch the channel, who subscribe to the channel and everything. And let's have a conversation. Let's talk. So yeah, this is our 4th one, and we have regulars now, and so thank you for joining us, Robert. I hope that you'll come back again. I'm sorry, I did not repeat that link. So the link was Exotic Meat Market without the S .net or Exotic Meat Markets with an S.com, and yeah, so check it out because they have like a really unusual meats and stuff. I've been following you for a good while. Oh, well, thank you, Robert. Now I can follow you. So and look, everybody's saying welcome. So welcome, Robert. Hopefully we'll see you moving forward. So for anybody who is somewhat new to this, the idea was I did the first one and we just like we'll see how it goes. And it was a Friday. It was a Friday at 6, I think. And then I just kind of asked people, if we do this again, what would you guys like? How often would you like me to do this? And everybody kind of said once a week would be nice. Saturday would be nice, and 4 p.m. would be nice because we have a lot of people joining us from Europe. I haven't seen anyone from Asia yet, but we do have people who join us from Europe, and this is their like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at 4 p.m. And so it seems to be a good time. If we find that more people want to do it, but it's too late for them, then we might actually move it up because, Saturday's fine for everybody else, right? Those are like elephant ears. Are you? Oh, the fry bread. Yes. Beaver tails are like fry bread. Oh, so they're not actually beaver tails. It's not actually made with beaver. Okay, I get it now, but it looks like a beaver tail. All right, fine. Yeah, some people call it fry bread. They call them elephant ears in Oregon. I think that's specific to Oregon. They call them scones in Idaho. And a lot of other places just call it fried dough. So yeah, we actually did an episode in Aloha, Oregon. I can't remember the name of the place, but we do have an episode where we do elephant ears. So yeah, if that's what beaver tails are, then yeah, I've had those. I've had them in a lot of different places. And as far as fry bread goes, the best fry bread I've ever had, there's a little cafe called Adobe Cafe that is in the Taos Reservation, the Taos Pueblo. And the Taos Pueblo is just an amazing place anyways, because here you have this kind of adobe structure that is over 1,000 years old. And the same families have been living there for over 1,000 years. But there's a little cafe called the Adobe Cafe, and they do a blue corn fry bread that is amazing. And so Mary Winters, who is the person that runs the place, I have an open invitation to go back. And so as soon as we can start traveling again, actually, we'll probably take a road trip, go out that way to Taos. And I think we'll probably do an episode out at Adobe Cafe, because it's such a great place, and just the feel and the friendliness and everything. It's an amazing place. Beginning with your Philippe's versus Cole video. That was the first one you've seen? Okay. So we did some other ones. I would say we've evolved. We have definitely evolved. So at first it was kind of like Jeff Fu. I think a lot of you know Jeff. Jeff was kind of like, he was producing the episodes, and he was kind of saying like, do this. I mean, not scripted, but do this episode, do this food, do this place, do this. And so, yeah, he was doing all the editing and everything. And then, sadly, I want to say this is about 3 years ago, maybe, and he had a stroke, and I had to start doing it myself. So, but Jeff was really, really instrumental in getting Trippy Food, the YouTube channel, off the ground. Good Cuban food in Florida. Yes, the best Cuban food I've had in Florida is in the Miami area. Miami area had the best Cuban food that I've had. Um, Also Brazilian, like there's a what is the name of that place? I want to say not Fort Lauderdale, Key Biscayne. In Key Biscayne, there's a place called Oasis that does this amazing Cuban coffee. Amazing Cuban coffee. And then there's a place also in Key Biscayne that's on the end of, because I think Key Biscayne is an island. It's on the end of the island, and it's called Boaters something. And you can boat in, or you can take the road in and drive in. But they have like amazing fried redfish and fish roe and everything. Really, really good. How do you feel about Matt's take on ketchup on tacos? Well, I ate it. So if you watch the video, I am eating the tacos with ketchup on it. So I don't make stuff up. If I like it, I say I like it, and if I don't like it, I say I don't like it. And I was pleasantly surprised that it actually worked. It's not something I would do on a regular basis, but like I said, it worked. So and well, the thing is you're putting it on. I think we used. And was it Jack in the Box tacos or something? No, not even Jack in the Box tacos. I think they were Burger King tacos. You're putting ketchup on Burger King tacos. It can only improve it. Let's see. And this is the thing. I get off on a tangent. I start talking, and then I miss all this. So I have to go back and look. Beaver tail deep fried pizza dough with chocolate strawberries. Yeah, that's it's an elephant ear or fried dough or fry bread. Fry bread's a little thinner, I think. It's not as doughy. It's usually a little bit thinner, but yeah, absolutely. Both are amazing. Exotic meat markets. Robert, it's exoticmeatmarkets.com, exoticmeatmarket.net. So without the s.net, with the s.com. And hello, regulars. And Robert, you could be a regular now. So welcome. Val needs a side segment, ingredient to ingredient cooking videos on what his favorites are to cook. We do, and I do need to do that. And that was a suggestion. And I don't. Maybe it was you, Ryan, that had suggested this previously. But I need to get a second camera to do that. So if you watch some of the videos of the stuff that I cook, I try to show you what I'm doing, but I don't do a step by step, and I don't tell you how much of what I'm putting in there. So. So yeah, I appreciate that, and I will do that. And we could even live stream that because I've seen a lot of places on Twitch that they'll do that. They'll do like a cooking thing, and they'll tell you how much they're putting in and what they're putting in and everything, and they're doing it real time. So yeah, we could definitely do that. Like I said, I just need to get a second camera before we start doing that. Val knows how to cook. I know it. Well, I was raised in an Italian-American household. And my mom taught us when we were little kids. She was raising 4 boys by herself, and she taught us all how to cook when we were little kids. So we grew up cooking, and part of it was because she needed help. So, but yeah, my father's family, because my mom met my father out here in the LA area. My father's family taught her how to make Mexican food. She already knew how to make Italian food, Italian American food. And so, yeah, we were fortunate when we were younger that my mom was a good cook and taught us how to cook. So teach your kids to cook, and then they will be independent. So it's a good life skill to have. Your Jello Ocean creation was amazing, by the way. Yeah, that was fun. I will caveat or a confession. I will make a confession to you. So the one that you actually saw me make was not the one I ate, and the reason being, I had to make a second one, and I had to make the second one because the first time I made it, I put too much blue food coloring in that, and it was so dark you couldn't see through it. So I had to make a second. So the one that I'm actually eating is the second one that I made because I just used a tiny little bit of blue food coloring so that you could see through it. So just wanted to, and I like to be honest. Just want to let you know that. I don't know if you guys noticed that, like when I was cooking, when I was first making it on camera, that the blue was very, very dark, but it was too dark to see. So, yeah. In Arizona, we have the best fry bread. I believe it. And fry bread is usually considered a Native American or Indian, if you want to say Indian, Fry bread is a Native American thing, and people think that like they were making it for centuries and everything, and that's actually not necessarily true. The way fry bread came about was because when the Indians were put on reservations, those were some of the only, because they prevented them from hunting. They wouldn't let them hunt, and they could do some agriculture, I imagine, but reservations were really restricted, and so they would get government rations. And one of the few things that they would get on government rations was flour and water. So they started making fry bread when they were getting government rations. So it's maybe goes back to the 1800s, maybe the 1700s. But yeah, the reason that most people associate it with as an Indian thing is not because they were making it for centuries. It's just that they had to make do with what they had. Sort of like a lot of soul food. A lot of it comes from African traditions, but then a lot of it also comes from slave traditions, where basically, you didn't have access to all kinds of ingredients and everything, and so you had to make do with what you had. So like chitlins, right? We appreciate you acknowledging each question and answering us. Okay, I just didn't want it to be redundant because you're reading it, and then I just read it out loud just to make sure that I'm catching it. Sometimes I go through the log afterwards, and I notice that like I missed something, and so usually if I see somebody pop up that asked me a question and I didn't get to it, then I like to follow up with that. I'm from New Mexico originally. Pueblo fry bread is the best. It is the best. And like I said, the one at the Adobe Cafe at Taos Pueblo, yeah, awesome. Sorry about Jeff. Yeah, well, Jeff is on the mend. So for a while there, he had to learn to walk again and everything, and but he is on the mend. Right now, just because of the whole coronavirus thing, we haven't seen much of him. I don't think we've ever had him in a video, but we will fix that, and we will actually get him in a video. We'll do some videos with Jeff and get him in the videos. So he doesn't take it as active a role with Reckless Eating or Trippy Food as he formerly did, but we'll get him back involved. It's always Jeff's always a good time, and Jeff is very, very highly intelligent about ethnic cuisines and stuff. He knows a lot about food, so it's always good to. He knows the best place to find the best, more unusual stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely try to get Jeff on an episode. Do I like alligator meat? I do like alligator meat. But I like it in unusual preparations. I mean, like a battered, breaded, and fried. You might as well put a Nike in there. But I like it. I like it in unusual preparations. So check out the video that we did where I made alligator head cheese. It was 2 dishes. It was alligator head cheese and stuffed baby alligator. So check out those episodes, and I'll kind of give you an idea of like my, how I like to eat alligator. Lots of great, authentic Puerto Rican, Dominican, and South American spots here in Central Florida too. Yeah, I haven't really spent a lot of time in Central Florida. Usually when somebody spends time in Central Florida, it's because they're in Disney World. But I imagine that there's a lot of stuff that, because you have this huge segment of Florida that just, tourism is their main source of income. They must be really hurting right now because, with this whole coronavirus thing. But yeah, I would like to try something a little. Oh, so yes, Florida, the west coast of Florida, like in the Tampa area, they have some unusual stuff like I think it's called Ted Peters smoked fish, where they do different kinds of smoked fish and everything. Amazing, really amazing. But that's in Tampa, which is like on the other side of Florida. Yes, I have my notifications on for your channel. Even if you're not out trying something different, you're out trying unique products. I am. And the thing is what I miss and what I want to get back to is the road trip stuff. Because I'm a road trip kind of person. And so I'm waiting for this whole thing to because the thing is, it's pointless for me to make a road trip right now because when I get to where I'm going, it's not going to be open, So I have a list of stuff that we're going to be doing. We do have some road trip stuff episodes, but not quite as many as the food ones. So like one of them I would say would be a road trip one would be when we did Archie McPhee's in Seattle. And then what would we say? Oh, Glass Beach, stuff like that. So we've done road trippy stuff, but we just haven't done as much of it, and I want to do more. That's amazing. In my opinion, what men bring to the kitchen is very different than what a woman does. Well, and then it's different between each man too, right? I mean, I would imagine that Emeril Lagasse brings something different to the table than Andrew Zimmern does, right? So yeah, I imagine you have a different in the sexes, but you also have a different in chef to chef, completely different. Somebody asked before, like one of my favorite chefs, and one of my favorite chefs is a friend of mine who's he was in one of our Kamikaze Kitchen episodes, Kyle Schutte. He's now he works in Detroit. He moved to Detroit, but he used to be in the LA area, and he's kind of like a mad scientist, right? I mean, he reverses things. Like I haven't had it, but he made like a chicken taco where the chicken was on the outside, the taco shell was chicken, and then everything else was on the inside. So yeah, one of my favorite chefs and also a close friend. So but again, he brings something different to the table than I don't know, pick a chef. Right? Val needs a road trip. Val doesn't need a road trip. Val is jonesing for a road trip because these four walls are nice, but I'm getting ready for a road trip. So we are, let's see, 4:51. Time to open the beer. What do you think? Should I crack open the beer? Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll see what a Mexican lager is like. We have our handy dandy mug, $1 at the dollar store. I get to use my, my fancy iron bottle opener. And again, this could be room temperature by now. But it's okay because I like beer at room temperature. The thing is, my attitude is if you have to chill it for it to taste good, it's not worth it. So room temperature should be fine. Has a beer smell. It's kind of reddish to me. This is just gonna this little bottle is just gonna fill up the bottom of the glass, I think. Decent head. No, I didn't mean I want decent head. I mean it has a decent head. The foamy part. There we go. Lots of bubbles in there. Can you see bubbles? Lots of bubbles in there. All right. Prosit. Or salud. Yeah, it's nice. It's tangy, but it doesn't taste sour, and it also doesn't taste skunky like some Mexican beers do. It's mellow. Little nutty. That's a nice beer. 5%, I think you said. I'm digging that. I was a little jealous because you got to try Pabst coffee when it first came out. It wasn't available in California yet. I found one pack left in a market a few weeks ago. It was bomb. Yeah. So I don't know if you're familiar with Nando, who's on Reckless Eating. He posted a picture the other day, and I said, "Oh, where did you get that?" Because it used to be like only 5 states had it, and they were all back east. I think so. I had a friend in New Jersey, Andrew Mensch, and if you're watching, Andrew, thank you. He sent me. They come in 4-packs, and so that's where we got it because it was only available in 4 states, and one of them was in New Jersey. But so I asked him. I said, "Was that left over, or did you get it from somebody on the East Coast?" And he goes, "No, it's everywhere now." So he managed to get it locally. So maybe your chances are good that you'll be able to find that locally. So Robert, you were checking out the thumbnail and you were looking at the stuff on this shelf, weren't you? So here's a question for everybody else out there. Have you looked at that picture that I use as a thumbnail? Have you looked at that? Do you have any questions about any of these? Because these are basically like souvenirs that I've picked up along the way. I try to get like something small like that, something that fits on there. But then, like occasionally there's like cans of stuff, empty cans of stuff that I had. But you might recognize some of the episodes that I did and some of the stuff in here. But any questions about that stuff? Take a look at it. See if you have any questions about it. I said there was going to be a quiz, but I didn't really expect anybody to study it so that we could have a quiz. But if you did look at it, and you have any questions about that, let me know. Can we see the bottle can? Oh, you want to bring? Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm going to take this headset off because the way I do things is I would likely leave it on and then I'd end up pulling the whole computer down and everything. So I'm not going to do this. So bear with me 1 second. You realize they destroyed the shelf. And then the other thing is like you didn't know that I wasn't wearing pants. So that was helpful. At least you get to find out. So here is the can, and as you notice, it's still a sealed can. So this is the fourth one out of my 4-pack that I still have. I don't know if it goes bad over a period of time and everything. I just kind of like wanted to keep it because I never knew if you would be able to find another one. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, there we go. I actually liked it. I asked the question before the live stream about the thumbnail. Ryan, what was the question about the thumbnail though? I mean, you were asking about the PBR in the thumbnail. Yeah, exactly. So that's what most people's eyes went to. There's also that one chip challenge there, the Pocky one chip challenge. We did that. That was fun. Not. Man, I wish I could have a beer. Got a blood test back today. Most likely have cirrhosis and stage 2. Oh yeah, that's bad. That would be bad. Alcohol would be bad for you. Plus my hypertension pretty much guarantees a Hearst trip if I get COVID. Yeah. Ryan, so just out of curiosity, is it something about beer itself, or like, could you get like, I know that no beers are alcohol free. Some of them are just like point something amount of alcohol. Can you have non-alcoholic beers? Because there's some decent ones out there, but I just don't know if that counts or that that would hurt you or not. So I don't know, Ryan. That's the thing. It sucks, especially if you like beer. If you're a beer aficionado like me, like beer is not my alcohol beverage of choice. I like tequilas and mezcals. I also like aguardiente. But I do enjoy beer. I'm not a big fan of wine. I'll drink it occasionally, but I'm not a big fan of wine. But beer, I think if I was told I couldn't drink it anymore, I'd probably be okay with it, but I would definitely miss it. So yeah, it sucks, man. That really sucks. So be careful out there, Ryan, especially now. Crazy out there. Hawaiian can cook. Aloha from Cali. Wait, Hawaiian can cook. Aloha from Cali. So you're Hawaiian from Hawaii, but you're not in Hawaii now, right? You're in California. So welcome, Hawaiian can cook. I don't think I've seen you on before. Everybody say hi. Can we call you Hawaiian for short? Even that's not short. That's 3 syllables. But anyways, hey, welcome, Hawaiian from Can Cook. Are you actually from Hawaii? Have you been to Hawaii? Because we can talk about Hawaiian food too, because there's some interesting stuff out there. Yeah, Robert. Show Ryan some love. Yeah. I like this. I like that there's a camaraderie here, that that people support each other on this stream. So that's really nice, because we are in this thing together, and we do need each other. So as much as some people would have you not believe that, it's absolutely true. I'm allergic to different beers or styles of alcohol. Is there some things that you can have that have alcohol, and some things you can't? But not sure if you're a cannabis user, but try using it for its medicinal effects if available. Would that be like CBD is like you get correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't tried CBD, or I haven't done edibles or anything. Is that a do you get the high from CBD? Or because I know that a lot of people cook with CBD, but the problem is when you cook with CBD, just the act of cooking, applying heat to it, renders it useless. So it's best to put it in like in a tea or something like that, or maybe something solid that you're eating that doesn't have to be cooked. I could drink non-alcoholic beer, but I've always drank to get messed up. Oh, I was a hardcore alcoholic, but survived, relapsed due to isolation and the stress. I guess I pulled the trigger. I am so sorry to hear that, Ryan. So we support you, and we will help you get through this. So now I feel bad drinking the beer in front of you. I hope you don't mind. Is that okay? Because I'm not drinking to get drunk. I'm just enjoying my beer, my weekly Saturday beer. But solidarity. If you prefer, I don't. I'm okay with that. What's your favorite place to eat at Grand Central Market? Well, Ducks Rule 123. Have you seen I think it was like episode 5. It was a really early episode that we did, and we actually ate at Grand Central Market, and we actually ate at my favorite place at Grand Central Market. And the reason Roast to Go is my favorite place to eat at Grand Central Market is because it is the last old school. I think maybe there's a Mediterranean place in there too, but it is part of the old Grand Central Market. And the thing about Grand Central Market, it used to be very blue collar, sawdust on the floor kind of place and everything. And then Egg Slut moved in, and then I can't remember, Belcampo moved in, and then it all went upscale. And so everybody raised their prices. The low cost places had to move out. They couldn't afford to compete. You had 2-hour lines for Egg Slut, and it kind of went hipsterized. But Roast to Go is right in the middle, very middle of it. They've been around for, I want to say decades. They've been around for decades, and they just make the best, greasiest burritos and tacos. They have like pig snout tacos and stuff like that. Really, really good. So yeah, Roast to Go is my favorite place in Grand Central Market to eat. I had to quit cannabis because of COVID. Does cannabis affect your what's the word I'm looking for? Does it affect your ability to fight off COVID? Cannabis, because it has a lot of medicinal properties to it, so I would think it would help, but I'm not completely sure. Food brings us together. Yes, it does, Robert. Yes, we were born and raised from Oahu, but we moved to Cali recently. Oh well, welcome to California. I have been to Hawaii once. Went to Honolulu. I think it's Honolulu is on Oahu, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't it Oahu or Hawaii, the island, the big island? But yeah, Honolulu, and I didn't even know, but I ended up there when they had Spam Jam. So I was in Honolulu for Spam Jam, which was awesome. But they had I don't know if it's still open, a place called Puka Dog, where they make the hot dogs. They make the hot dogs, and then they take a roll that's hollowed out, and they put it on a spike, which heats it up from the inside, and then they put like mango jelly and stuff like that, and then they drop the hot dog in. It was really good stuff. Too much sugar and alcohol is bad for me. Yeah, well, I guess also the sugar in like soda would be bad for you as well. I like your community for sure, Val. Well, Ryan, you are in our community, so welcome. We are family here. Sober living is the best, but hard to maintain. It sure is, especially with a lot of outside influence. When you see a lot of influence, and it's hard when a bunch of people get together and everybody's drinking. And if you don't drink, it's hard to do that. I have never bowed down. Like when I was doing reckless eating stuff, like they would say like, oh, we're going to do like a drinking challenge or anything, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I can't. So I'm a lightweight, and yeah, I can't do that. But, a tasting thing I can do every once in a while. No high from CBD, but many health effects. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Break out red spots in my face. Well, that is weird. It gives me a stomach ache. Wow. Who knew? CBD is a body high. Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Yeah. Drink the beer. Have no problem with it all. Okay, Ryan. Thank you. Cheers to you, Ryan. Thank you. I'm a sipper. So you're not going to see me get drunk here. I hope. That'd be interesting. Like if I had like a really strong alcoholic beer and I was drinking it, and then I just started getting like drunk while I was doing this. I have no idea what direction it would go. I am told, because like alcohol can amplify your personality, and so a lot of people get like really belligerent. They're angry drunks. Me, I just laugh. I laugh a lot when I'm drunk. At least that's what I'm told. Okay. Smoking and vaping are bad for us upper respiratory viruses. Yeah, I imagine they would be. Yeah, because especially because COVID affects the lungs, right? Or it affects other things, but it attacks the lungs. And so I imagine if you're smoking, that would put you at higher risk. Is egg slut worth it? Always wanted to try the sandwiches. It's at the end of the day, it's eggs, right? I mean, you could probably make the same thing at home. I don't get what the whole thing is. I think part of it is that whole celebrity chef thing. It's kind of like and I just don't get that. Is that you have a celebrity chef, they open a place, and like everybody wants to go there because it's a celebrity chef, because of the person's name and everything, and it has nothing to do with how good the food is. It's a celebrity name. So yeah, I never got the whole hoopla behind egg slut. So I never wanted to stand in a 2-hour line for eggs. Just make them at home. You know, but if you are one of those people who doesn't mind staying in line for eggs for 2 hours and paying $12 for eggs, who am I? I don't judge. Have you had Philippe's original chocolate? That's interesting. Maybe it's stronger than I think. Have you had Philippe's original chocolate cream pie? I have not. I've had some of the sides. I've had their like the pickled eggs, and their potato salad is really good. But I've not had their chocolate cream pie. I'm gonna have to try that. It's $30 for the whole pie. I would think you just go in and get a slice, right? Can you go in and get a slice? I've never had a pie like that in my life. I will. I have to try. I haven't been to Philippe's in a while, so I'm due, and I'm gonna have to try that pie while I'm there. New here, but what is your channel about? Do you make food? Yes, I make food. I eat food. So like I might get something. Like if you watch a channel, like for instance, if you came in later, so we have these snacks that we're going to open up. I'm not cooking anything. I'm just opening up a bag. We're going to try those. We do road trip stuff, which doesn't entail cooking at all. But I usually cook something if I'm using an unusual meat that you're not going to find anywhere. I do stuff in restaurants. I'll go to some restaurants. I'll go to roadside stands and everything. I'll do that. So it's like a variety. I can't say that I cook all the time, and I can't say that I eat at restaurants all the time, and I can't say that I eat prepared food all the time. So it's a little bit of everything. So just the focus is on unusual food and travel, and that's like kind of a high level thing, but that's basically what it is. Unusual food and unusual travel. That's what we do. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy the channel. Honolulu is on Oahu. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, nice place to visit. Hiked up to Diamond Head, checked out Pearl Harbor, stuff like that. So there's a lot going on there. Hope you had fun. I did have fun. I did. Roast to Go is great. Had it the first time I went to Grand Central Market. Yeah, I have it every time I go to Grand Central Market because it's. I don't want to pay like $14 for a hamburger at Belcampo. So yeah, Roast to Go is my go-to. I think the price of the tacos has gone up a little bit, like by a couple dollars, but it's still reasonable. And they're big, meaty and full tacos too. So, Ryan, you can use edibles. Not sure where you live. I'm in LA, so weed is very easy to get. Yeah, well, no, the whole West Coast, right? So Oregon, Washington, and California. It's legal here. What else? Colorado is legal, and then maybe that's the only place in the West is the three Pacific states and Colorado. Maybe more. Not sure. It's only a matter of time before it's legal everywhere. Well, actually, I take that back. So the issue is it's still not legal on a federal level, and that poses a lot of problems. A, they can't tax it. B, it's still illegal on a federal level. The thing is, you'd have to have enough states that legalize it that the federal government has no choice but to legalize it as well. But when that happens, states still will reserve the right to not legalize it. So I don't see it as like a constitutional amendment or anything like that. But like prohibition and the repeal of prohibition. But honestly, I honestly don't understand what the big hoopla about weed is, because it has health benefits. Now, obviously, if you're smoking it, some of those there's also health detriments to it, which is the fact that you're ingesting smoke into your lungs, the same as cigarettes. So you do have that risk. But It does have health benefits. The other thing is, it puts people to work. So you have growers and farms that is legal to grow it on, and you put people to work. In on a state level, they're paying state taxes, so there's income coming into the state for these people for this to do this. You also get rid of the black market, so you get rid of the illegal drug market because you're making it legal and easy to get. So people don't you don't have to worry about, like, has this been sprayed with paraquat? Is this gonna make me sick? By is this even weed? Is this something else? Am I smoking like oregano that's been treated with angel dust or something? Like, who knows? And then there's the court system, right? So you have the court system and you have the prison system that is tied up with people who like had 3 joints in their pocket, right? And then they're in jail, and they went through the whole court system and everything. So that clears that all up. Although it's probably one of the reasons that it's not illegal is because, or it hasn't been made legalized because, the for-profit prison system is a moneymaker, and so you got to find ways to put people in jail. That's my opinion. I understand if you don't agree with that, but that's just my opinion. The active inhaling particles cause lung inflammation, which can make things much worse. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same. Smoking anything. You stand by a campfire, too close to a campfire, you run that same risk. So yeah, anytime you get smoke into your lungs, it's a risk. Tacos Tumbras a Tomas is really good too. The owner used to work at Roast to Go before he made his own stand. Are they in Grand Central Market? I haven't heard of them. So if they're not, let me know where they are. I would like to check that out. I think Drunk Val would be awesome. Well, I've never gotten any negative feedback from people about me like being belligerent or beating anyone up or anything like that. So, but I'm a pretty mellow guy, anyways. Maybe not mellow, but maybe just kind of a easygoing guy. Thank you. Saved me a long line. Yeah. Well, it's up to you. I mean, some people like to wait in line. Like Howlin' Ray's. We did an early episode on Howlin' Ray's before they actually opened their brick and mortar, and they did a pop up in Chinatown, and we were like one of the first ones there, so we didn't really have to wait too long, and it was good, But it's not like it's not 2-hour line good. It just isn't. So do you know watch Mark Wiens? No, I don't. Robert, what does Mark Wiens do? Because I'm always open for checking other people out. I like to do collaborations with people too, but there's some people, like especially the people with a lot of subscribers, they don't like to do collaborations with small fry like us, because I think we have something like I want to say close to 4,000 subscribers, maybe 3,700, something like that. And we're just small fries. So, like Dame Drops will never work with us, until we get like another few 100,000 subscribers. But yeah, let me know about it. Moco Loco. Yeah. Oh God, Robert. So, there is a place, and then maybe they do this in another place, but they do, there's a place called Roxy's in Beaverton, Oregon, and it's a Hawaiian restaurant, and they do something called a gravy burger. So they use the same gravy that they would use for a Moco Loco, and they put it on a burger, and oh my God, that's so good. And they'll put a piece of Spam on it for you if you want to. So yeah, when I go back up there next time, we'll do an episode there. Starting the barbecue. Thanks for being here, Val. Oh, are you taking off? Oh, not leaving. Good. All right. Yeah. Well, it is Memorial Day weekend, and so yeah, if you barbecue, if you got them. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I got my like tiny teeny Weber grill up here. So I'm gonna actually get some like tiny charcoals and actually get that thing cranking and try to make something on that tiny little Weber grill right there. Sad to see almost all the old school stalls gone. Yeah, they just started disappearing. Like around the time I did that Roast to Go episode, they were starting to disappear. So it was funny because we had a hipster counter, and like we were just like ding when you see a hipster walk by. We were just guessing. We have no idea. It was just kind of a funny thing we were doing. Surprised the old school produce spice vendors have not been driven out. Yeah, me too. Maybe they raised their prices. I don't know, but I'm actually surprised. I guess maybe they have to have something in there. And what are you going to do? Get like Sprouts or something in there? It's like, So maybe they just have to do that to maintain it as to keep market in the name. I hope you were doing okay during the pandemic. Yeah, you too. I am being careful. I got my mask. And just so that people know, you guys can still hear me, right? I can hear me. I'm assuming you can hear me. So just so that people know, and it's just something that I'll reiterate. It's like people say, "Well, I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't think it protects me." No, it doesn't. It protects other people. And so the thing is it's consideration, right? I go out for a walk or something, I'll wear the mask, and I don't do it so that I don't get COVID. I do it so that if I have it and if I'm an asymptomatic carrier, I don't give it to other people. It's a courtesy that I am extending to other people. Other people don't feel that way, and other people feel that it's a violation of their constitutional rights, which I don't understand, because like when they want to go into a grocery store and they say it's a violation of my constitutional rights, but they don't really have a problem with wearing a shirt or shoes to get in. I just, like I said, I don't understand it, because, shirt and shoes is like, okay, so you drop a bottle on your foot and you cut your foot open. Like, we don't care. But the thing is, there's a very real risk here. And so I don't know why there's this big uproar of it's against my constitutional rights and everything. It's just another thing you have to wear to go into a store, like a shirt and shoes. Again, that's just me, but I understand people feel differently. So, Mark Waynes is a nice guy, but boy, he never gives a negative opinion on anything. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's a hard thing about being a host on YouTube, is that you have to take into consideration that people might not trust that you're being honest, right? Like, I always try to be honest. I think I'm pretty honest when it comes to stuff that I'm doing on YouTube. I try to be, and that's why I like to have other people on the episodes with me, because there's a second voice, right? And they don't always agree with me, and that's fine. They're not going to, but like I don't like SpaghettiOs, and then we did a SpaghettiOs episode where I tried to save it and I tried to make them better, and I couldn't. But I still understand that some people, they grew up on SpaghettiOs and it's a comfort food for them, and they like SpaghettiOs. I understand that. I'm cool with that. But I'm just give you my honest opinion when I'm eating something. I think how many times have you guys seen me do a review where I go, yeah, it's not good, right? So I try to be honest, and hopefully that comes across. What is my favorite cut of steak? Well, honestly, I would have to say I like a good ribeye, not a dollar store ribeye, but I do like a good ribeye. One of the times I visited Exotic Meat Market, he does like grade 7 Wagyu, the good stuff, the really good stuff. And he brought it out and he says, Valentino, do you want me to cook this? And I'm like, no, you don't have to. We'll just do it sashimi style and everything. So yeah. The better the meat. I like it rare to medium rare. I understand why you have to cook it all the way through, especially if it's frozen. The meat's frozen. I understand that. I understand if it's questionable as to if you go to your local grocery store and you buy the meat there, it's probably questionable, the quality of the meat, and so you probably want to cook it really well. But if you know what the source is and you trust that source, then rare is the way to go. So yeah, I would say like a T-bone. T-bone's pretty good. Like T-bone. Let's see. Hawaiian, okay, we'll have to check out your channel. Oh, yes. Hawaiian Cook, you have a channel. I didn't see that. I must have missed that. And again, I apologize. So if you do have a channel, Hawaiian King Cook, we will definitely check that out. Local Locals are the bomb. They sure are. And how do you like it cooked? I think we just covered that. Rare to medium rare. And same, all my meat, rare to medium rare. Maybe a little bit more with chicken, especially if you don't know where that chicken's come from, I would say. But everything else, and pork, it used to be like you had to worry about trichinosis. I don't think you have to worry about that so much anymore, especially, like I said, if you know the source. But yeah, rare to medium rare, and in some cases raw. So, how does everyone like their steaks cooked? Robert, yeah, that's good. Ask the group. Get some opinions there. Please do, and if you have any stairs in the comment radio. Oh, okay. Hawaiian Can Cook. We'll have to check your channel out. Everybody check out his channel or her channel. I don't know. It's a non-binary name, Hawaiian Can Cook. Ribeye, medium rare. Yeah, there you go. You can say you dislike food without trashing it unless you're Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, exactly. Well, Gordon Ramsay doesn't usually trash food. He usually trashes the people who are making the food. So yeah, I would not get along well with Gordon Ramsay. I have no like. There are some people that I would like to meet. There are some people that I would love to sit down and cook with, and eat with, and have a drink with. Gordon Ramsay's not one of them. I would say like Guy Fieri's one. I would love to sit down and share a meal with Guy Fieri and a beer. Andrew Zimmern is another one. I would love to share a meal and not a beer because Andrew Zimmern is sober, so I would not share a beer with Andrew Zimmern. I'd love to share a meal with. I was actually on Bizarre Foods and met him, and he's a great guy to hang out with. So yeah, it's the kind of guy you would want to hang out with and do stuff with. So yeah, absolutely. Meet and greet with Val in the future, perhaps an episode. Yeah. Well, so one of the things, Ryan, is I'm recording when you guys make suggestions of things that I should do, and I'm also trying to make note of where you guys are from. So when I'm traveling, if I'm in an area where you are, I'll let you know that I'm in that area, and we will do that. As far as doing a meet and greet goes, like I know Reckless Eating does meet and greet, but then they have 650,000 subscribers. So if they say that, hey, we're going to get together in Vegas and we're going to do a meet and greet there, people come in from all over the place. If people come in from all over the place, it's the people who can afford to come in from all over the place, and the people who are in a proximity where they can get into a place. We might have 15 people. So right now it doesn't make sense for us to do a big meet and greet. But certainly if I'm traveling and I happen to be in an area where you guys are, and you guys need to let me know where you guys are, if I'm going to be in the area where you guys are, yeah, we'll get together. In some cases, maybe we'll get you in a video. I love Gordon though. I've attempted his recipes and they came out amazing. The thing about Gordon Ramsay is I don't know if it's just a on-screen persona or not, right? Is he like a nice guy when you're not filming with him, but on camera and on video he portrays this guy. Oh, you crazy? That's raw. Did you eat that? So I don't know if like off camera he's kind of a nice guy to hang out with and everything. It's just that his persona doesn't allude to that. I met Anthony Bourdain, and Anthony Bourdain kind of struck me as the kind of guy, like if he's working with somebody, if he's doing something with somebody, he's a nice guy. I know a lot of people know him personally from working with him and say that he's was a great guy. I didn't get that impression when I met him. I got the impression that I met him is like, let's get this over with and let me get out of here. So I didn't get that impression from him. I met who's the Man versus Food guy, Adam Richman. I met Adam Richman. I met him on a street corner. We talked for almost 40 minutes. Great guy, nice guy. And so yeah, you can't always tell what somebody based on their personality. And like I said, I actually filmed with Andrew Zimmern. And he's just as nice on screen as he is, off screen. But you never know. I know a lot of YouTubers have completely different personalities when they're not filming than when they are filming. So you just never know. Tourniquet Jaw from San Antonio. I'm doing my Bob Wills there. Yeah, I love San Antonio. I lived in Austin for like 12 or 13 years. Spent a lot of time in San Antonio. So is the Liberty Bar still in San Antonio? It's that place that was like slanted. I like the Liberty Bar. That was a fun place. I like my steak blue. Blue like really, really rare. Right, Terry? Is that what you mean? Blue? Yeah. Great choices on the steak, guys. Prefer it medium rare as well. Yeah. I understand. So the thing about the cooking meat is when you don't cook it enough, you run the risk of foodborne illness. When you cook it too much, you run the risk of carcinogens. So the more well done it is, the higher the carcinogens in there from the smoke and burnt the carbon, right? And so like medium is kind of like the middle place to meat where most people go, because it's like they figure I'm not going to get so much. I'm not worried about the foodborne illness, and I don't worry about the cancer so much. So they like medium and everything. But like I have a iron cast iron stomach. Is that what the term is? I don't get food poisoning and everything, and so I will err. I suppose I'm susceptible to parasites. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of gravitate towards because the thing about rare and medium rare, that's where all the flavor is. Once you get past medium well, there's no more flavor. You've cooked all the flavor out of it. I can't believe Anthony Bourdain took his own life. Yeah, I can. It's a high pressure environment, and the thing is like everybody's got their demons that they battle, and you just never know. You just never know outside of that. If somebody just feels loneliness, even if they're with other people, they just feel this loneliness, or it's something that the mind does to you, and yeah, you can't tell. It's like the guy, Brad Delp, the guy who sang for Boston. It's like, or Robin Williams, right? They just like one day they just go like, I can't take this anymore. And what's the name of that wrestler? The 22-year-old woman that just committed suicide. It gets to people sometimes, and you can't tell. They have this kind of vibrant personality. You can't tell what their inner demons are like. So yeah, it's a tough thing. It is really a tough thing. You're correct. I told my brother, who has the same food passion, that Gordon is too talented to be overshadowed as this TV personality. Yep. Gordon is a nice guy because he's nice to other celebs on his YouTube channel. He does it for the show. Well, he's a nice guy on the show. So what is he like when he's not on the show? And that's the key thing. It's like, because that's what's inside, right? No, like I can be evil and mean on a show, and then you get me off camera, and a nice guy and everything. But that's, I feel bad for people who are always like, if they're like Gordon Ramsay is like throughout their whole life. I can't imagine that level of stress, that level of anger, that level, that's just, I couldn't live with that. That's crazy. Why don't you meet Elon Musk? Trippy Space Foods. That would be fun. That would be a cool thing to do. Have him send me up into space. I think it's cost prohibitive right now. But yeah, I would like to be in a spacesuit, sitting in a Tesla, being shot up into space. That'd be fun. Actually, so this is kind of weird. I think like if somebody said, "Hey, we need people to go to Mars, and take 6 months to get there, but once you get there, we can't bring you back, and so you'll die up there, and we can't guarantee like how long it will be and everything." But I think if I had a terminal illness or something, and they gave me like a year to live, I go like, yeah, I'll go. Why not? Like maybe the first person to be on Mars, the first person to die on Mars, whatever. Yeah, I would do it. I would so do it. Mask and gloves, the new meet and greet. Well, actually, maybe not. So this may change the way we meet and greet. I think we talked about this maybe in the first episode. Is that like we may do away with handshakes, we may do away with hugs, and it's not a personality thing. It's just a safety thing, right? So like what do we do? So you have that. I think it's like maybe it's a Middle Eastern greeting, like one of those things, or like a Three Stooges thing, or there's all different things that you can do. Maybe we make something up. Maybe we do like the old Flip Wilson thing, but yeah, things are going to change. And even from a business standpoint, where you sealed everything with a handshake, maybe those days are gone by the wayside. It doesn't mean we can't be friendly with each other. It just means that those things are likely to change. So we may not always wear gloves, but like our greetings are likely to change. Everything's going to change. It's a new world now. When you go into a restaurant, things are going to be different from now on. You go to a grocery store, things are going to be different from now on. Even if we get this COVID thing in check, things are going to change, And some places are not going to be able to survive that either, which I find sad. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? I don't like to miss stuff. So if I bypass something and it scrolled past there, please put it there again so that I catch that. I don't want to miss anything here. China. No, not China. Although maybe she did, but there was one. I think she committed suicide yesterday or today. She was 22 years old, and I can't remember her name because I wasn't familiar with it. I don't keep up on wrestling. Back when I used to watch wrestling, it was like Bruno Sammartino and Chief Jay Strongbow and Professor Tanaka and Freddie Blassie and George the Animal Steel. That's when I used to watch. Mil Mascaras. That's when I used to watch wrestling. But I just saw a thing that that this famous wrestler, woman wrestler, who was 22 years old, killed herself because she just couldn't take it anymore. There's a burger in Chicago, and it's called the Walking Shed with 2 panko mac and cheese buns. Ah, that's interesting. 2 panko mac and cheese buns. The Cheesecake Factory actually does one where they take this mac and cheese disc and they put it on top of the burger. They do that there. I don't know. I'm sure other people do something similar, like with mac and cheese, but I've never had it as the bun. I had the ramen burger. It has ramen as the buns, but I haven't had that. I'll have to check that out. The Walking Shed. I'll have to check that out. Her name was Hana Kimura. Yes, Janice. Thank you very much. That is her name, Hana Kimura. I didn't know her, and maybe some of you did, especially some of you people who follow Reckless Eating because they're big wrestling people. Maybe you knew her, but it's sad regardless. Apple smoked bacon with more mac and cheese. Yeah, that sounds like a great combination. Val, have you seen this on YouTube? Chicago's Best, Tom's Steakhouse. It's true mobsters have done business there. Sure, why not? Mobsters love to eat in nice places. So I'm sure that, all kinds of, maybe at like Frank and Musso's and Anthony's Pier 4 and all those places, I'm sure there's been a lot of mob dinners taking place, but hey, maybe they recognize a good restaurant. Enjoy life. If it's terminal, go out happy. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Go out on top. I'm not, I'm happy with my life, and I try to lead the kind of life where if I go to the doctor and he says I have a week to live, I don't have to start calling people up and apologizing for stuff I've said or did. Right. I try to lead that kind of life every day. And I think, everybody should. Right. So I have done a lot in my lifetime. I have been to a lot of places. I've eaten a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of life experiences that were like amazing and wonderful. And I've lived in like 6 different places around the U.S., around the U.S. and everything. I've had a really good life, and I still consider myself somewhat young. But if they say, "Hey, Val, you got a week left," I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Well, it was a pretty good run." I might say goodbye to people, but hopefully I don't have to apologize to a lot of people. Hopefully I've treated people in a way that I don't have to apologize to them. You should try making the Walking Shed. I will do that. So Janice, you're asking Robert to make it, but I'm thinking I could make that too. You always have answers to our questions. I love asking you all day. Well, I don't know everything because that would take all the mystery of life, right? So ask them, and if I don't know, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to find out. Because you guys have mentioned some stuff that I wasn't familiar with, and if I'm not familiar with it, then I'm going to check it out and I'm going to see about doing something about it, right? Review Italian soda. Yeah, I could do that. That'd be awesome. I love Italian sodas. So I've done some soda episodes. I call those installations Top of the Pops, but I haven't done specifically Italian sodas, so that would be good. I'll do an episode just on Italian sodas. I think buffets are going to be a thing in the past for the most part. Agree completely, unless they change to a cafeteria style, right? So a buffet place now that has the open thing where everybody goes and they grab the utensils and they stand right next to each other and they put everything on their plate. Yeah, it's going to go by the wayside. But what they can do is they can go to a cafeteria model. So basically, they put everything behind glass. And then a server inside, maybe with a mask of gloves, maybe he doesn't need it. No, he probably mask of gloves just to make people feel more comfortable, will have the plate. And you'll just point and you go like, give me some of that, give me some of that, give me some of that, give me some of that. And it's a buffet, so you can come back again, but you'll get a new plate each time. He'll give you a new plate each time. And you can go back and do it that way. That's the only way that a buffet is going to survive. I don't see like salad bar is going to be a thing of the past. I really don't see how they can survive now. No, you're absolutely right. You want content? Hawaii has a lot of foods. If you want, you can check out our channel. We make a lot of food around the world. I would suggest lau lau, lomi salmon. But I haven't heard of these. I haven't heard of these things. They sound fascinating. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Janice, okay, that's the idea of screen food porn. Yeah, she was on terrace. So we're talking, or we are talking about Hana Kimura. I think you have done a video on it, but I've seen so many that I can't remember. Have you been to Grill-A-Mall? I have not been to Grill-A-Mall. So again, another thing I will, and anybody who mentions something here, or makes a suggestion that I haven't been to, I will definitely give you a shout out when I actually film that. So I will check out Grill Mall. Back the barbecue is started. All right, Ryan. Wood or charcoal or gas? Let me know. You seem like a reasonable man. I think you're a good role model. Well, I hope so. I have children. Well, no, I don't have children. I have adults. But I hope I'm a good role model to them. I haven't seen them on the stream yet. But maybe if they chime in, they'll tell you what kind of role model I've been to them. I would follow your ways. Ooh, like a Jedi. Like I'm a Jedi master. I just need the big ears and talk like Yoda. Joda. I love Jones apple soda. It is really classic taste. Yeah, the thing about Jones is Jones used to do they used to make the suite of stuff for Thanksgiving, but they don't do the weird stuff anymore. They just do the standard flavors. It's okay though. I think we did a couple of the Jones. I'm sorry. We're getting so into this that I completely forgot to open the snack. So I'm going to try the ketchup-flavored Spud Crunchies from Trader Joe's. Here we go. And I did not open this from the bottom only because it has a tearaway thing. It smells like French fries with ketchup on them. Here, take a look. That's what we're looking at. It looks like French fries, right? All right, here we go. It doesn't have the texture of French fries, but like those French's fried potato, the potato sticks. It has that texture, except they're bigger and thicker. They also taste seasoned, and you do taste the ketchup. Yeah, Sonic, you're saying they sound and look good. I can't, I'm hearing the sound in my head of me crunching it. I can't even imagine with the microphone being this close how loud that is, and I apologize for that. Tell you in a second, Terry. Okay. This is going to sound weird coming from me because this has the word ketchup in it. A big thumbs up for me. I like the unique texture of that. I like that you definitely get the taste of like French fries with ketchup on it. They're seasoned really nicely and everything. Yeah, that's a winner. Big thumbs up for me. We were going to start with the beans, though. I we messed up a little bit. I'm a big Funyuns fan. You like those? I like Funyuns okay. So, Sonic, we got these, which are kind of like Funyuns, right? They're like the flaming hot onion rings, flaming hot onions. So we're going to try these in a minute. Are you guys bothered if you go to a restaurant and see the employees handling the food with their bare hands? Yes and no. You hope that they have that they don't let people work if they're sick. You hope that they wash their hands. You hope that they practice cleanliness. I remember when I was a teenager, I worked in a sandwich and ice cream shop. And if I was making sandwiches and everything, I used my bare hands. I didn't put gloves on or anything. Well, this is back in the late 70s. And so it doesn't bother me too much, especially if it's something that they're going to cook. But if it's like a salad and they're just going to break it apart with their hands, put it in a bowl and send it out, maybe a little bit, maybe. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gotten food poisoning, and so I'm not as concerned with it. And I don't think there's been any instances where that they've shown that you can get COVID through eating something that somebody touched. Don't know. So yeah, but I imagine if like you're a germaphobe and if you're really like stringent on cleanliness, that would be a big thing for you. What are you eating? I have a bag of Red Hot chips and a beer once the pigs are fed. Oh, okay. So I maybe you weren't here before. So the beer is North Coast Brewing's Laguna Baja, which is a Mexican style lager. So that's what we have for our beverage. And then what we just tried is the Trader Joe's ketchup-flavored Spud Crunchies, which got a big thumbs up. But we got a couple of other things to try too, and we need to pace it up a little bit because we're like a half an hour away from ending time. So it's like eating meat, yes or no? Which is like eating meat? I'm sorry, I missed something. I better go back. Get bothered? Yeah, yeah, understandable. Yes, it does. Unless I can trust that they wash their hands religiously, like I know them personally. Make me walk out of the door. Yeah. Like Funyuns. Never had that. Looks good, Janice. We're talking again. I like having Funyun farts. Well, it's the simple things in life that bring us the most pleasure, I think. It's like eating meat. I'm sorry, Terry. What were we referring to that was like eating meat? Not the potato things, right? Grill and Mall's kitchen is out in the open. They use their hands all the time. They're not touching a bazillion all at once, though. I'm never bothered. Well, if they're grilling something, they touch it with their hands and they put it on the grill. The heat from the grill will kill anything that they have. I imagine. That's the way I like to think anyways. We made a video on Kahlua pork. If you check it out, you could make your own. Wow, Hawaiian Can Cook. Your channel is sounding better and better all the time. I'm going to have to check that out. That's what I get from listening to the CDC. They're behind in knowledge. COVID transfers through fecal matter, just like E. coli. Yeah, well, that's why I try not to eat fecal matter. So you can sure get it through food. Yeah, if you haven't washed your hands properly. Which is, and that's the thing that always cracked me up is people who say like, oh, it's dangerous to eat meat because of foodborne illness. It's like, no, it's just, I mean, look at listeria and things from people who are out in the fields who like don't get good bathroom breaks and are picking the fruits and vegetables and everything. So yeah, you just got to be careful. Wash anything that you're bringing home unless you're going to apply high amounts of heat to it. I used to work at that Applebee's. Oh, Sonic, you're going to make me sell Alhambra again? I did it right this time, though, right? Alhambra. You said yes or no to the question of handling food with bare hands. Yes or no to eating meat. To eating meat. Yes to enjoying meat. And no to the slaughterhouses. Well, yeah, yes and no. The thing is, I think I would visit a slaughterhouse only because I think you have to understand where your food comes from, right? Like I know a lot of people are visual people, and the thing is like if they even sense that that the beef was off of a cow, which was a live, living animal. They're not going to eat and everything, and you have to understand that if you go to a slaughterhouse, that they have to get a live animal into a state where you can go into the grocery store and buy it, or go into a restaurant and order it, and have it appear on your plate. And there's a process that takes place, and you have to be aware of that. And so I kind of almost recommend that it's at some point in your life that maybe you visit a slaughterhouse so that you see how this food is made, and then if you can come to terms with that, and you can go like, well, we're omnivores. We eat meat, we eat vegetables and everything, and that's just part of the processing. Then I think maybe that's a good thing. But I can understand where some people like it's too violent for them and they couldn't handle that. That's fine. Maine and Garfield in Alhambra. Alhambra is a huge gems possible. Yeah. Well, Alhambra and San Gabriel and that whole area. There's just like so many amazing things out there. All right, so we are going to eat prepared broad bean, wasabi flavored from SM Fortune. No smell. Maybe a little bit of a woody smell. And they look like little like rat embryos. Let's try these. Crunchy, nice. Definitely has a texture of a bean, peanut, legume. Oh, these remind me of something. They remind me of soybeans. I kind of have the taste of roasted soybeans. I kind of have that flavor. Wasabi flavor, though? I get wasabi. I mean, maybe it varies. Maybe it's the coating, and then it varies. It's a nice snack. Yeah. It's not an even application of that wasabi flavor. So you get it on some and not others. It's a nice snack as long as you're drinking a beverage with it because it's a little bit dry, sort of like soybeans. It's going to get a thumbs up for me. Not a big thumbs up, but a thumbs up. Ever try a hot flavored chip? I've tried lots of hot flavored chips. My favorite is the Pocky Haunted Ghost pepper chips. I like those are my favorite. They pack serious heat, but they also have really, really good flavor. There's some, even on the channel, check it out, pork chop, that we've done a lot of, we did the one chip challenge. I think I can see that back there somewhere. There, right there. The one chip challenge, we've done that. I just got some new, what is it, like Fire and Fury or something, I think is the name of the company. And I filmed with Matt last week from Reckless Eating, and we did one of them, which was a habanero with a fruit flavor on it. I won't tell you how that was because we're gonna air the video, but that same company just came out with a new one that is I want to say Carolina Reaper or Ghost Pepper. So I'm going to try those and see what those are. But I do like the hot chips. Some of them are just artificial flavors. Yeah, I know, and you can definitely tell. So the thing is, like maybe they use extract or something, but you just don't get that pepper flavor. And that's the thing about being a pepperhead is like you want the flavor and you want the kick. Something to wash those beans down with. Terry, are you out of here? I am glad to see you again. I'm glad you could make it, and we will definitely see you next Saturday if you can make it. It's always good to have you here. Trippy Foods Val, did you know Ian Kiner from Let's Peep This Out shoots all his episodes on Main Street, Alhambra? Oh, I did not know that. Apparently, is he doing just fast food? Because I see he's the Arby's, Burger King, In-N-Out Burger, and everything. So it sounds like he just does fast food. I did not know that because I haven't seen his show. I'll have to check it out. I would definitely check that out. I'm back just checking the grill. Ryan, you're so quiet. We didn't know you left, but welcome back. Mesquite grilling. Psh, awesome. That's the way to go. That is definitely the way to go. Yeah, he's a fast food reviewer. Okay. Does he do just like regular fast food? Like he'll do a Big Mac or a Whopper or stuff like that. I mean, that's okay. It just seems like that's kind of like a well-covered niche, right? Like a lot of people do that. And there are very few people who don't know what those things taste like. But or maybe he does like the limited time only things, or I don't know. I'll have to watch the show. And check it out. I'm going to head out too. My battery's going to die soon. Such a pleasure though. Thank you. And all the cool people. Well, Robert, I'm glad you were able to join us today. Again, remember every Saturday until you guys decide that it's not okay. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, we'll keep doing this. As long as you guys keep enjoying it, we'll keep doing it. Because I love it, and I hope you guys like it too. Right, McDonald's, yeah. Okay. Ian does whatever is new in fast food. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so he probably does like the LTOs and stuff like that. That's cool. All right. Only because it looks like we have maybe 10 minutes left. I'm gonna open these now. These are PeaTos. PeaTos. I think so. Originally, they did a takeoff of the of Cheetos, the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. That was their first thing they did, and so PeaTos was a good name for Cheetos that were made from pea, and that's what these are. These are made from pea, anyways. But this is something new. This is their Funyun or their onion ring version of Cheeto Flamin' Hot onion rings. So we'll go ahead and try these. And again, little tear in the bag, so you know me, I like to open from the bottom. Let's just shake it, maybe. Let's do that. PeaTos, is it like Doritos? No, it's like Cheetos. Pete Bog flavored. I would eat Pete Moss. Not a person named Pete Moss, but Pete Moss. If it was edible, sure, I'd try it. I've eaten seaweed. Why not? Okay, Terry, we'll see you next Saturday as well. Stay safe out there. Oh, that really rips open. It definitely has that artificial Flamin' Hot Cheetos color, that kind of weird pinkish red. Here, check that out. Let's try these. Have you tried Asian style wasabi pea snacks? That's what I thought this was. But it's bean. It's not a pea. It's a bean. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking about they're actually peas, little ones, and they're roasted, and they're wasabi. Yeah, I love those. Especially because, like, when you take a handful of those and then it starts to go up, that breathiness kind of goes up your nose and everything. You get that wasabi kick. Yeah, I do like wasabi peas. Pete Moss is Randy Moss's cousin. I'll bet. These are kind of weird. They're not oniony. I'm sure there's onion in it. And it gets that, it has that burn, but it doesn't have the flavor. It doesn't have the pepper flavor. Maybe they're supposed to be good for you. Okay, you know what? As a snack, these are okay. It's gonna get a thumbs in the middle for me. They don't suck. They're not terrible. They don't taste disgusting and everything. But the heat, there's more heat than there is like flavor, any kind of pepper flavor. The onion doesn't come through. The texture is all right. The texture is nice. Yeah, they're okay. They're crunchy rings, hot, spicy, crunchy rings. So yeah, again, thumbs in the middle on that one. Sorry, guys. Greg Wells. Greg, did you just come into the room? Because the thing is like we got like 10 minutes left. We wanted to meet you. We wanted to learn about you. We wanted to introduce you to the rest of the family. But this is kind of late. So yeah. Well, what time is it in the land down under right now? You guys, it's already tomorrow, right? I think it's already Sunday there. I don't know exactly what time. I'm gonna guess. Let's see, 6 o'clock. If you're around the same time as Singapore, it's going to be somewhere like 9 a.m. on Sunday, I think, something like that. But Greg, welcome. I haven't seen you in here before, but I raise my glass to you. Cheers. Welcome. And I hope you can join us next week. If this is a bad time for you, let us know. Also a big fan of corn nuts. Okay. So the thing about corn nuts is I used to like corn nuts, but then Trader Joe's has this Inca corn, something called Inca corn. They're bigger, they're crunchier and everything, and then they have more flavor. So I kind of can't go back to corn nuts now because I've had that. That's just me. I do like corn nuts, or I've always liked corn nuts. Corn nuts are really fun. Like if you work at a place where people are like eating loudly during meetings and you don't like that and you've raised it and people go, hey, people should be able to eat whatever they want in the meeting, and then bring a bag of corn nuts to the next meeting, and then you'll find that eventually people won't be able to eat loud stuff in the meetings. If you can, I think I already told you, Val, buy art. Yes, Ryan, you did mention Arctic Circle, and I looked it up. There aren't any in California. The closest ones are Utah and Idaho, which aren't really far from here. I think Idaho is maybe 15 hours, or any populated place in Idaho is about 15 hours. Utah may be closer, but it doesn't mean we're not going to check it out. So definitely, when I go next time I'm in either Utah or Idaho, I'm definitely going to check out Arctic Circle burgers. Pastrami double burger is the bee's knees. Yeah, we did the pastrami burger at Tops in Pasadena. That was really good. So yeah, I'm definitely. Well, I'm going to try the Arctic Circle burger. We would do two. We would try the pastrami double burger, but we'll also try just the burger itself to see how good it is. But yeah, I'm always willing to try different stuff. And there's different places that are regional, and I'm always willing to check those places out. So yeah, Ryan, I will definitely check those out. But unfortunately, they're not here in Southern California. Cheers, big ears. It's kind of like a Cockney thing where you just do a rhyming thing there. That's kind of cool. Okay, Trader Joe's sounds good. Yeah, Trader Joe's has a lot of unusual things. And again, this goes back to something that I was asking people about before. It's like, or people say like, hey, I'm in an area of the country that really doesn't have any unusual stuff. It's like, really, go into a Trader Joe's, look around, look carefully. You'll find some unusual stuff there. The Hat is California's favorite pastrami burger place. Well, again, famous best pastrami dip. So let's clarify that. Best pastrami dip, not best pastrami sandwich, because that's going to be Langer's, I think. And again, I violated my own rule about best favorite, right? But yeah, Hat's pastrami burger is really good. Lucky Boy, Hat, and Tops, like all three of those. But there's so many more. We just touched the surface of the iceberg. Chili dogs too. Yeah, my favorite chili dog. Oh, Ben's Chili Bowl in Washington D.C. Favorite chili dog. But it's more like a sausage though than a hot dog. Fairs are good places to try weird food. Yeah, it depends. So last year, Matt and I did the San Diego County Fair, the Orange County Fair, and the LA County Fair. And we try to find different things, but you run into the exact same vendors that are doing the same things and everything. But yeah, fairs are a good place to find really weird foods. Definitely. You eating hallucinating food. No, that's Trippy Food. That would be like a Trippy Food thing, right? Eating LSD and hallucinating and everything. But no, unfortunately, I'm not. Are you asking if I would review like hallucinate food that makes you hallucinate? I would like to do that. I just don't know. I don't think they allow that on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I don't think they allow that on YouTube yet. So that's why I haven't done like edibles or anything like that. Betty, like Mad Honey. Betty. Oh, Betty. Okay. See, I'm responding to you, Betty, and I didn't realize that you snuck into the room because I don't recall. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome to the room, Betty. Cheers. Loving those fairs, vids, good times. Yeah. Unfortunately, Greg, the fairs, almost all of them have been canceled this year. So the California State Fair and all the county fairs have all been canceled. The Gilroy Garlic Festival has been canceled. What is the place that does the Artichoke Festival? Castroville. The Castroville Artichoke Festival was postponed till August, but it's questionable. It depends on how well they're doing it, whether they're actually do it or not. I think one of the avocado festivals, the Fallbrook Avocado Festival, was canceled. The Strawberry Festival that they usually do in Oxnard, that's been canceled. So yeah, I think all around the country, anytime you're going to get a bunch of people in very close proximity together and everything, they've all been canceled. So it's going to be a very, very slim. Well, all the sporting events are canceled too. So yeah, sad, but unfortunately, no fair foods this year. Yeah, Janice. So you know what I'm talking about, right? Do you usually get? I think when Matt and I we had a really good time at the San Diego County Fair, and they were doing some really unique stuff in the San Diego County Fair, and the LA County Fair was really, really good, really cool people, and doing a lot of unique things. The Orange County Fair, they're kind of like. Maybe they're just going on their past strengths and everything. So it wasn't quite the adventure that we had at the LA County Fair or the San Diego County Fair. We have been to the Riverside County Fair. I did a blog article on the Riverside County Fair. I haven't done an episode on it, and that's usually coincides with the Date Festival, and that's fun because they do camel races and ostrich races and zebra races and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah. We get our rugby league back this weekend. Oh wow! Oh okay. So are they playing to empty stadiums though? They're playing. They're not playing in front of a live audience, right? I guess that's what a lot of people are doing. They're starting the sporting events up, but they're doing them in empty stadiums. So I don't know if they're doing there as well. San Diego has the most variety. I agree with you, Janice. San Diego was awesome. I love San Diego County Fair. Yeah, empty. Yeah, Greg. That's and the thing is, like some of them are putting like what some of them are doing, which is really interesting, is instead of buying a ticket. You pay like $10, whatever it is, and they put a cardboard cutout of you in the stands. So I guess it makes it look better, maybe for the players or maybe for television that there's people in the stands. But I think it's a cool idea. You can't go, but you paid $10, so they put a cardboard cutout of you in the stands. That's kind of a funny and fun thing to do, I think. Greg, it looks like you agree. We like the Riverside Fair for all the date products. I do too. So Janice, have you done any kind of like, we did a date shake crawl in the past and everything. We've covered the different places to do date shakes and everything. And I think Oasis was the place that was doing it at the Riverside County Fair when we did it and everything. But date shakes, amazing. If you get a chance, definitely try the date shakes. We've got about a minute left. and I've got some beer left. But unfortunately, I have to go right to Upper West after this to get their Memorial Day box. And like I said, we'll try to get that video up tonight, so that if anybody in the LA area is interested in checking it out, you can. Again, patronize your restaurants. They're hurting. Some of them are not going to make it through this. And so if you have favorite restaurants, or you have things that look interesting you want to try, give them the business right now, because they need it. A lot of them, like I said, a lot of them are hurting and are not going to make it through this. Have you done the newer one chip challenge? Well, we did that one at the beginning of this year, so I think that's newer, right? The black chip, I think it is. So yeah, I guess we did. It is 6 p.m. And as much as I loved Hawaiian, yes, I would definitely check out your channel. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully we'll see you next week. It is 6 o'clock, and so we have to kind of end it here. And I hate doing this, because I just have such a good time with you guys. I really do. I really appreciate everybody who comes in, and I love the conversations that we have. I love that we have a chance to interact. For me, I really enjoy it, and I hope that you guys do too. And so we're going to continue to do it. So hopefully we'll see all of you next week, Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. In the meantime, take care of yourself, take care of other people, be careful out there, and we'll see you soon. So good night, good morning, and hello to Miss Calabasas, wherever you are.